Okay, all right. Oh, God.
All right. Yay.
All right, we did it. Whatever that is happening.
Yes.
This meeting is being recorded by the host and participants. But should I have to say something here?
Yes. Got it. Sorry. Yeah, he has to go down and just got it. Yeah. And that's all. Don't touch anything else. Good. Yay.
Wonderful.
All right. We're all good. We're good.
Okay. Whew. That was an event.
Yeah.
Lost in technology.
Oh my goodness.
Anyone over 50 years old.
My God.
Help, all the help they can get.
Oh my God, amazing. Let me see. My God. I'm not that late. It's only 7 minutes late.
Oh, you're great. We're not late at all.
Sorry, I apologize about everything.
It's an event. We got it.
Here we are. Thank God. So anyway, let me see. Where are we? What are we doing today? I'm asking you. Do we have any questions about the last things that the seminar that we did last week? So let me organize it a little bit myself, my head, to come back here with you, because I was lost in the great internet for a second. My God.
You did it though. So
oh my God, it's amazing. But anyway, last week what did we done last week? Last week we clarified the shoulder girdle, right, within the 0-point balance. Yeah. That was a big deal, yes, and that always existed already in your connection, yeah. And the shoulder girdle is the center of the movement that connects you from the three centers above and three centers below. Just as clear, yeah. What else did we did last week that it was extraordinary? Let me see. We got to learn to move in the three segments of the arms simultaneously and individually within the segments. Yeah, that it was important to really actually connect through the movement. We get to clarify 0-point balance, but crown. Clarify crown at the point that crown becomes really actually the center top of the head. That was very important. What else that we did last week that it was very important? Let me see. Anything come to your mind that you remember?
We incorporated 0-point into the beginning of the wave.
Say that again, darling. Say that again.
Well, we incorporated 0-point as the beginning of the fountain, and that not a separate thing.
Already
as the ending and the beginning, not a separate thing.
Beautiful. We are inside already of the fountain in 0-point balance, the first frame, right? That was good. 0-point balance is always the beginning of all the movements because it's the connection to everything. Yeah. So let me see what else. So you're always in the field of energy. And if you need to prepare yourself, you have a symbol to go what that is. Yeah. Last week, also to become clear about taking away the military notion of 0-point balance. Yes, and that's true with every single connection. You define it, and then when you define it, you have to add the actual gesture, which is your permeating the connection with the whole feeling of you, so it doesn't become just like head trip of practicing motion from the structural point of reference. Yeah, so you're taking away the structural point of reference and the practice, and you're connecting to the energy field, which is the emoting self, and then the structure becomes connected through the energetic field. Yeah, so that's what you're doing with every single connection. So when you practice each connection, you can say, okay, the connection of self is a physiological relationship, but also it's an energetic, it is the self. Okay, then move from there. Add those three things, three understanding, structurally, energetically, and then the self, which is you, which is the actual moment. The self is the actual moment. The moment is actually you. Yeah. So those are the three things that you add to the connection. When you connect to the path of balance, you know that every single connection corresponds with a lucid frame to the other connection. like for example, crown, when you get to crown, then you're encircling the sphere, but there will be a moment in which the encircling the sphere becomes earth, from which the inflowing wave come into being. So you are uniting in your mind through your sensation, uniting in your mind through your sensation of energy, the motion, the whole motion. So that's the way that your mind becomes totally interconnected with you, because you're using your sensation as a traveling mind connecting to your unity. It travels in your mind connecting to the unity, yeah? So that's the way that your mind becomes connected to yourself. So your mind doesn't stay in one place and you do something else. You are connecting through it, and you're always in unity and motion from the Lord, the inner arc to the vertical extension to the outer arc, always from the outer arc to the vertical extension to the inner arc. You're always ascending in this field constantly, yeah? Never stop for an instant. When you stop in 0 point, and then you start a new movement. If you divide the movements beginning and end, but then if you continue, you just continue from it. Continuamente, continuously moving. Let me see what else that it was very important. You understand that every single movement has a passing through. Every connection has a passing through. Yeah. The passing through of each connection, like self, for example, it means that you are connecting to yourself innerly to the center of your heart, but the center of the solar plexus, but you're connecting yourself outwardly through the actual union between the within and the without. And then at the center of those two, in and out, is the continuity of the movement. Either if you go into earth or you come into wherever you're going from that place, you're always connecting three things: the inner, the outer, and the surface of the movement. This is a conceptual thing, but it's very important to understand it, because that's the way that you can refine your practice. The inner is that you're connecting always inside of the center of the heart. The outer is the outer connects to the inner. The inner connect to the outer connect to the inner. And at the center of the union of the two is the frame of movement that connects you to the path balance or where you're going. So there are three things that happen: the inner, the outer, and the continuity of the movement. Always, yeah? The inner is a statement. The outer is a given. So the outer, the statement, and the given connect into the frame, which is the path of balance, and then you move into wherever you're going. Yeah, it's a good conceptual understanding, because if you have any questions about any of the connection, all that you have to find, and I said, okay, the inner, what is the inner? You understand that it's the center of the space. If it is in the vertical, if it is in any other connection up above, of course, it's heaven, infinity, or central crown. You understand that too. You understand that you're connecting to the heart. You understand that you're passing through, so the inner and the outer is the place that you are connecting to move out of it. Yes, but it's good to understand that the three are simultaneous. The inner, the outer, and the motion is the three-dimensional nature of the movement. Always. Yeah, it's a good thing to understand. Once your mind comprehends that, you could always refine it. You will always refine it. If you spend a few seconds, and it will take you a while to land into your body enough that your mind becomes perceptive of yourself. Because when we are in the world a little bit, everything goes so fast that ourselves we will not be perceptive of ourselves. Our mind keep going. Oh my God, I got to blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. So it takes a few minutes to come down enough that you can begin to feel. And then when you connect to the energy, you're really coming down into yourself, because then the energy, the geometrical relationship of the structure and the connection to a space becomes the grounding nature, or entering the field of balance, yeah. You're always refining your connection to the field of balance. The more you refine the connection to the field of balance, the more present you are. And the dimension that we call in universal balance and the dimension of the new consciousness, not to make a difference, but it's a dimension that embraces all things, as opposed sometimes in the dimension that we are in daily living, in which is only just a particular thing that happened in the moment, and it's not embracing the whole field. So you're learning to live in the whole field, yes? Because in the whole field, you appear. Without the whole field, there is a part of you that is always present, but not necessarily the whole of you. So that's clear, yeah? Beautiful. So let me see. So that's it, more or less for now, that's good. So I think that what I would like to do, I would like to do the fountain for a moment, just to go through from 0 point. And then I would like to go through the completion of the fountain, just the 4 different definitions, you know, the definition of foundation from the unity and motion, the definition of central heart, which is this definition of the center of space, and then the definition of the suspended diamond, which is the definition of the throat, the head, and the crown, from which you are suspending the shoulder girdle at the center suspension of the shoulder girdle. Yeah, and then the definition of central crown, which is the 3 upper centers corresponding with the 3 upper, 3 below, from which you are then connecting to the last part of the fountain, from which you come back to 0 point balance. And you're ready to 0 point, and we're ready now to do from then. Once we do the fountain, we're ready to do the inner outer mandala, because the inner outer mandala is the way that we learn to complete the whole circle in order to be able to go to touching balance, which is the next movement, from which then we go to interchanging balance. Yeah, we know where we are more or less. That, yeah, we completed the whole fountain. We're going to do it together. Then we're going to go to the inner outer mandala. And in the inner outer mandala, as we do it, we're going to refine the path of the delicate heart that connects you to infinity's gate. That from infinity's gate, will connect through the gravitational expansion, that it will take us to gravitational expansion, really, the mohawk, that it will take us to expansion, from which navigation comes into being, from which mandala crown comes into being, and from which mandala crown becomes then circling air to get to the sphere, to get to inflowing wave, and you complete in crown. And then from then is when you go in touching balance. Yeah, and we do it in the chair, and then we do it standing together. So we do that then, and then we're going to continue with the outer inner mandala, which is the 3 releases and the around the crown and above the crown. And hopefully we'll complete it today if we can. Shall we do it then? So I'm going to check let's do it one time seated, and then we do it together standing. I'm sorry, darling. Go ahead, Mary Pat.
I just wanted to make a request that at some point in there, I would like to really define the subtle differences in side earth and forward earth as we're moving, what all that is.
Can you say it again, please? I mean, I hear you, but I couldn't understand completely what you mean.
Somewhere in all of this, if we could define the subtle differences about Earth, between going to side Earth and going to forward Earth.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And just, because we haven't talked about that for a while in real detail.
I think that the best way to do it is when we complete the fountains, standing, and let's do it seated and then standing, and then we'll sit down again, because we're going to define Earth, and we're going to define the going to Earth and going to expansion, and then we clarify those 2 differences between Earth and the Earth that come from mandala crown or from crown, as the different Earth that come from foundation, defining the inner outer mandala. Yeah, and Earth is the Earth in the inner outer mandala. The definition of Earth is the frame that correspond to the pelvis, the center of your pelvis, frame being the center of your finger, from which then the opening of the riding of the wave, will ascend all the vertebrae to get you to expansion. So it's, that connection of earth is essential because it's the point of reference from which you can connect the spine to move for riding of the wave to go to expansion. Yeah, that's the continuity here. Wonderful. Shall we do it? Okay. So we're going to move. I'm moving the chair back. We're going to do the entire fountain of life. Then we're going to do touching balance in the chair. Then we're going to get up. We're going to do it standing, the whole thing, and then we're going to get back to the chair and we're going to do the inner outer mandala. Yeah. And in order to do the inner outer mandala, we can do the inner. We'll do the inner outer mandala. Fantastic. Okay, I'll move the chair. Thank you very much. We're doing it. Let me see where I'm working. I don't need this chair. I need this one. Much better. I'm sorry about getting this to see me, but
So we won't,
it doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter. Okay, okay.
Beautiful. You don't need me. I'm in some way, you're already in motion. So the only thing you need me to see you a little bit to see where we are. So that's good. Okay, so the 0-point balance. Zero-point balance is a fantastic thing. Remember, there is the beginning of the end of the study, right? Remember the 0-point balance is the place that you pass through, that you're connected to the movement, that you got all the 21 centerings, that you're in the center of space, you're connecting to the sphere of life, yeah, all of it. And then I suggest that when you practice, when you begin to think that your mind start wandering, move and just move back and then relax and just find the connection to a place that come back yourself. Don't torture yourself trying to stay in 0-point balance if your mind is wandering. Just move and then come back. Okay, so I'm going to start 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Unity in motion. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. We're going to central crown. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 counts to pass through. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. We're going to suspended diamond. 1, 2, the wave. 3, click. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 to central ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, foundation, 1, very gently with your legs and knee, 2, 3, 4, 1, touch 2, 3,
Christian, I think we were gonna do the inner through the outer and then touch balance.
Oh, I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. I apologize. I apologize. I apologize. How was it? Okay, let's take a break for a moment. It's difficult to look.
The other question I had, were we not gonna do the fountain twice on each side, or just gonna do it once on each side?
We can do it twice. It's up to you. In the practice, you usually when you
We
do
only
the
did it once, but that's.
when you do the whole movement, you just do either side of the fountain, and then you do. I think that's what it is, Carolina, right? In the book where we have it,
Yeah, but I think you only did it once.
we did it once, but you can do it as
You
many
mostly
times
do
as
it
you want.
once, I think.
Yeah, you can do it as, let's go back again, and I'm sorry, but let's do the whole thing again. It's wonderful to keep moving. Remember that you have to descend to go to crown. Once you get in the unit motion, when you unfold the wave, you're descending to get to crown in order to start the inflowing wave there, okay? From crown into the sphere of earth inflowing wave and so forth, yeah? In that particular crown, you're almost there. Your sphere of earth, which is the beginning of the inflowing wave, is taking you right away immediately to connecting with that. So let's do it again. I'm sorry, I apologize. We go after we complete the fountain, we go to the inner outer mandala. And then from the inner outer mandala is when you get to that balance. Yeah, so good. It's good to practice. Yeah. Okay, so let's, yeah.
I'm sorry, I just need to be clear. Are we gonna do it twice on each side, or we're just gonna do it once on each side tonight? Right
I
now?
think, I don't know, it's up to you. I think we'll do it, let's do it.
I know what it is in the practice, but I want to be able to do it right now with you in a certain way. So if you can tell me if you're going to do it once on each side or twice on each side, that'll be good.
Let's do one on each side right now.
Great.
And then we can practice just the fountain for a while. Let's do it that way, as it is. So just know, even if I made a mistake, because I'm looking at you at the same time, and it's difficult to look at you and find out where I am, but nevertheless, just you know it. So we go together, okay? Beautiful. 0 point balance, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. The sphere of earth, inflowing wave, foundation, outflowing wave, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 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 2. Now we go to central heart. 3 and 4. 4 counts. 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. The delicate heart, take it to the wave. Breathe and throat. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3, and 4 to central ground. 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2. This is the inner outer mandala, right? 4, 1, and 2, 3, and 4. 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 Now touching balance. 1, and 2, 3, and 4. 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 1, 2, 3, and 4. Complete the ground. 2, 3, and 4. Going to 0 point. 2, 3, and 4. 0 point balance for a second. Yeah, we didn't do it the interchanging balance. I'm sorry, but that was good. How was that? Is it possible to do it again in a second?
Yeah.
You have any questions about it? You're doing good. I think that you're not descending wide enough when you get to crown. Yeah. I move the chair a little bit back so you can understand more what I mean by that. For now, I don't know if you can see me, but we are far away from each other. But
Phil, did you want us to stand also?
yeah, we're going to do it standing. Yeah, but I wanted to do one more time in the chair. Oh, let's just do it standing and then we do it and come back to the chair. Absolutely good. Okay. I want you to make sure that when you go to crown, when you go from foundation to crown, 1, you see I'm starting to descend as I'm going to crown. So at the same time that I go right and left, I go front and back and descending to crown. Yeah, because it's a tendency to stay that high in crown. Yeah, and it's this place is crown. Not this high.
When you're seated, it's a little bit harder, I think.
Yeah, a little bit harder because it's difficult to find the hip when you're seated. Yeah, yeah. But also remember that the reason that you have to find the even right there, Carolina, because that's the beginning of the sphere. You see, the sphere of Earth. So if you go too high, then you can't find the sphere right away. You have to create a big path going through and circling the sphere before you go to Earth. Yeah. Beautiful. So you wanted to do one more time seated together and then we'll do a standing. Let's do it one more time seated together, the whole thing, and then we do the whole thing standing. That's good, Ellen. That's the crown for you right now. Yeah, that's wonderful. Listen, and let me see. That's good. That's good. That's very good. Lois, it's wonderful, but there's a part of you that when you wanted to take the wave, that the right and the left wanted to take more importance than the front and the back. So make sure that you are descending through the line of energy of your arms. Exactly. So your arms don't open the movement, but they are the line of connection to your heart. Beautiful. I think that all of you are beginning to feel there is a line that connects the 3 segments through the motions. So the bones don't open the movement. It's the line of connection of energy that open. Exactly, Carolina. It's the line of connection of energy. Good, Nancy. That opens the movement. It's not that the skeleton open the movement. Yeah. Because if you open the skeleton, you're going to create weight or you're going to go back. But the line of connection will slide you through. It slide through yourself. Yeah. Beautiful. So let's do it one more time. Beautiful. I sense you that the 0 point is getting much better with you because in reality, when we practice, we're sharing the same 0 point. You can be in Pittsburgh or wherever you are, but in the quantum entanglement of reality itself, we are interconnected in the moment of life. Yeah? Did you understand what I mean?
Yes.
Very important. this is not that you're in this, but I'm here, or Nancy is in another place in Texas, that in the reality itself, we are simultaneous. So when we share 0 point, we are all inside of the field, acknowledging the existence of the field and adding for everyone the possibility of the feeling of the field, because for most of us innocently, we don't know that everything occurs simultaneous. We think that everything is linear and sequential, yeah? That I am here, that you're in Pittsburgh, and Nancy is in Texas. No, we are all in the real moment of life. We are all in the same instant at the same time. Yeah? Are we clear with this? All right. I got it that you are. If you don't say anything, I say yes, you understand.
We're clear. We're with you in the same moment. of
Are we
life.
ready? Nancy, are you okay?
I'm good.
All
I'm
right.
just wondering if we're not only in quantum entanglement, enjoying the connection with everything in it.
Oh, absolutely. The connection with everything. Yes, absolutely. The connection of everything. So 0 point and the movements are infinite in that sense, because it is whole field. It's not self-enclosing you or
Right.
self-enclosed in relation to anything. It's the whole field. Yeah.
Right.
It's the acknowledgement of existing within the whole field. Yeah. Beautiful. Wonderful. So we do it again. We go very gently. We're going to do one fountain each time. Actually, the 2 fountains are wonderful. Since we did it last time, let's just do one. But Ellen, it's good to do 2 fountains when we practice.
Yeah.
But yeah. Shall we do 2 fountains now? Yeah, let's do it. I'm not going to throw you out, right?
Do just one here, and then when we stand, we could do the 2.
Wonderful. Fantastic. All right. So we go 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Gathering the spiral. 2, 3, and 4. Outflowing wave. 2, 3, and 4. 1, 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 2, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 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 click. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 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 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2 inner added. 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Touching balance. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 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 4. And now here is it will go into it. It will go into the interchanging balance. But let's get into it right now. How was that? That was good. That was clear. Any questions about it? I think you're doing very, very good. I think that 0 point is becoming much more clear. I think it's important that when you go touching balance, let's say for example, you're going to go in touching balance, right? And you're going to go in touching balance beginning in the pelvic floor. But then now in your study, you already know that all the 7 centers are already suspended as one whole, right? So begin to add, even though you're beginning the pelvis, begin to add that all the 7 centers are moving in their own dimension simultaneously in relation to the whole as one. So don't wait until you think that the next center has to engage. Begin to recognize that they are all engaged and they are all assisting each other in their engagement to get where you're going, either to touching the floor and touching balance, or either to get you to bring you back into foundation, or either to bring you all the way through to infinity to get you back into expansion and so on. This is important. So do not use the centers as a change reaction to each other. Use all the centers as opening fields that they are facilitating the movement. You are in that moment in the study that you can really add that part of you, and it's going to help you enormously. Yeah, are we clear with that? Exactly, that we are with it and that. No questions about that, right?
I have a question about the counts.
Yes, I made a mistake in front of the count, so I'm not going to make sure, but go ahead.
1, 2, 3, 4 here, right?
Yeah, 1, 2, 1, 2.
And then we're here 1,
4.
2, and then coming back 3, 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that there are 8 counts plus 2, right, Carolina? When you go in touching balance, it all depends. It all depends in your. It's complex
Yeah,
because
well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 3,
Yeah.
4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's the count as it is. But in your practice, if you feel like it's too fast for your consciousness to really acknowledge that you're moving each of the 7 centers as they move, you may need 2 extra counts. Yeah, and this is your practice, because if you just put in 6 counts as it is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 is good. But you may lose the subtlety because of the rhythm of getting to the point in the heart and the back of your neck that really actually, when you touch balance, they don't compress and they don't push. They're actually passing through the crown in order to be able to come back to foundation. Yeah. So by that time, the rhythm is continual. It's forever. It's infinite. It will always be the rhythm. So in the rhythm, you can decide to add 2 counts in your practice if you want to. When we do it together, we try to do it all together in order not to create discordance in the movement itself when we practice. Yeah, wonderful. So that was good. That is understood. How is that, Mary Pat? How is that count of you touching balance from that? Oh, no, you are not hearing me.
It's fine. Yeah, I usually, I mean, sometimes I add extra counts, but most of the time I do that on the 1, 2, and then getting to infinity on 2 most of the time.
Wonderful. Okay, all right. But because I would suggest that if you need the 2 counts, make sure, because the 2 counts are primordial to the let's say if I use 4 counts to go down, I can have time in the 2 counts that you add. Instead of 6, you're writing it on 4, right? 8 counts. It help you, especially in the chair. It helps you because you can find that when you touch balance in the chair, you can find your legs, the palm of your feet, the floor, the pelvis, the sacrum, the shoulder, the neck, the head, your cheeks, the top of the crown, the beginning of the pelvic floor, all of it together before you come back into it. Because there's an infinite amount of connections in touching balance, especially when you're in the chair, because you don't have to worry about the descending spring in your legs. Yeah, it's fantastic. So anyway, so we're gonna get up. We're gonna do the whole thing standing now. It's okay. Are we good?
Yeah.
You're doing absolutely fantastic. You do understand what I mean about using 8 counts instead of 6, touching balance. Yeah, beautiful. The touching balance when you get in the floor with the chair is fantastic, because you can use the floor to come back through the floor to you at the same time that through the crown, you're going around the floor. Yeah, through the touching balance, through the crown, you're going around the floor until you touch the floor, right? But when you touch ground, when you touch the floor, you can also say that the floor is going around you too. So you're creating a circle around yourself, but the floor from the legs is creating a circle around you too. So that's going to bring you back into it. Yeah. Okay. So we do two fountains. Yeah. The center of the floor coming through me is the crown. Yeah, the center of the ground coming through me is the crown. Yeah. Beautiful. 5. I'm going to change a little bit so I'm more centralized here. 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to repeat 7 and 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7. Last time. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Gathering the way. 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Remember to slide in the way. 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 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 2, 3 and 4. Ascending to center, to central heart. 2. Beautiful. Now, my 2 feet, the pelvis, the elbows, the solar plexus, the throat, the head, and the crown descending. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1. The delicate heart, take me to the wave. Descending. 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2, the completion of the bound. 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Inner, outer way. 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Complete and crown. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Wonderful. 1 and 2. And sorry. 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 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 3. And now interchange balance. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 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 Returning to center. 1 and 2. Descending, ascending. 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Transferring the wave. Let yourself just go. Let me see, where are we? I'm sorry, I made a mistake there because in the last movement, we not complete and ground. We go directly from foundation to touching balance, right? I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, wonderful. Ellen, that was good. How was that?
Yay. Great.
Any questions about it? How we doing? Good? Just what this is better.
Great.
I used to do expanding because I can feel the weightlessness. It's a little bit difficult for me to sense that openness of the lower back as much when I'm sitting. So
Yeah.
I mean, I figured it out because I think when I was sitting, I was leaning into my lower back a little bit, so I just brought it back to vertical.
To the place in the center. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Sitting, it's an art to find the naturally the way that you're going to sit, that you're going to be connected to your legs without having to really go around the lower back or without having to push into the lower back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then that's what you're discovering. And that becomes, your legs becomes important, very, very important. Let me see, what are any, I think, Mary Pat, it's difficult because in Pittsburgh where you are, it happens mostly, you are a little bit, the camera is a little bit in delay. And yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you are not in delay, it's that the camera is in delay. Yeah. So, but I wanted to make sure that when you go in touch, when you get to the fountain, when you get to the fountain, ready to come back again to central ground, even though you're opening from the pelvic floor to be able to take you back to central crown, even though when you're open from the pelvic floor, the front, the head, and the crown are helping you right away. Otherwise, what happens, you're thinking floor, and then the head and everything is waiting for you. So you have to really, the 7 centers have to become simultaneous now with you. Yeah, it's going to help enormously. Yeah, beautiful. Let me see, that's good. Now what we're going to do, the definition of earth that we were talking about before. Yeah. So then let me see, where are we? I think you're getting much better and going to crown, and the definition of crown not being so low, right? Beautiful, beautiful. For you, the crown, we do it 3 times, that unity and motion. One is to really make sure that you're beginning from the foundation, the sphere of foundation, that the way begins to come into being, right? That will become clear. Foundation one. The second one is to make sure that you go through the 7 centers, even though you're always going through the 7, but you make sure that you are through the 7 center. And the third one is for good, to add everything. So that's the reason you do it 3 times. 1, to make sure that you start in foundation. 2nd, to make sure that you go through the 7 centers. And 3rd one is for good. Yeah, beautiful. Perfection. That's good. Very bad. Very bad. Go. Self. Better. Beautiful. You have to make sure that when you get to self, that you are already at the center of your neck. So your neck doesn't stay back when you're descending through the wave. The self is the center of your neck. So it doesn't go there, the neck there. So the center of your neck, then the wave of your arms give you this, the wave of the head going through. Yeah, fantastic. Good. All right, we're good. We're good right there. Okay, right there. Yeah. Fantastic. You have to be careful a little bit because the right elbow, the right inner side of your elbow wants to be much more clear in your awareness than the left side of your elbow. So make sure that the both are equal because both correspond to the each side of the brain. So make sure that those are clear. Beautiful. Carolina, you're more on top of your hips right now than you've ever been, right?
Last week, I went through a big shift. You know, my shoulders went into the place and it felt like it put everything in place down here with the crown, and it just feels much more connected.
Fantastic. So we're going to go now to the outer inner mandala together. Yeah, let's do it a few times. The outer inner mandala. Yeah, and you can do it seated or you can do it standing, whatever it feels comfortable for you. Yeah, remember that the outer inner mandala is going to go from foundation, gathering the wave, because you're stopping in the last movement is complete and crown, right? Yeah, complete and crown. So you don't need to go into gathering the wave. You go into sphere of earth, inflowing wave, and then that will becomes the definition of earth. Yeah, beautiful. That's what we clarify.
Are we actually doing outer through inner mandala, or are we doing 3 releases?
No, let's go to outer. Let's define it each time, and let's go through outer through the inner mandala. Let's define crown, and then come down. Let's define earth, and then come down, and then go from expansion and heaven, and do the whole inner mandala.
Okay, you're confusing me, really confusing.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
So are you saying we're going to go just sphere of earth and come back, and then going out into expansion,
and then come down,
back, and then all the way up
to heaven, and then come down,
heaven all the way out, and then what do you want to do?
And then from then, just go to all the outer mandala and come back through the inner mandala without stopping.
Okay, thank you.
That's a good way to start because you wanted to find out where expansion is from the writing of the wave that is the beginning of earth. Yeah, and then you clarify it, and then you come down, then you clarify in expansion, and you go to heaven, and then you touch heaven, and then you open, expand heaven until you get to the level of infinity, and you descend. And now that I have those 3 places, earth, and I have expansion and circling the heart, that I have heaven, that entering the crown, I'm descending through all the 7 centers. Yeah. Remember that when you enter the crown and you come back entering the crown, there is a place called the delicate instant, which is the place before suspended diamond, when you can begin to descend as continuity. Yeah. It's the opposite side of the delicate heart is the delicate instant, which is right there. Beautiful. And you don't stop. Once you get to the delicate instant, you never get to the suspended diamond. You'll never touch the suspended diamond. It doesn't exist from the coming into it. Exactly. Yeah. So you never get to the suspended diamond. Go exactly. Yeah. Foundation. Yeah. The reason you don't get to the suspended diamond, because from above, if you get to the suspended diamond, you are not going to be able to come down directly, descending, ascending. The shoulders are going to get stuck in your joints. So you got to start the descending, ascending from above at the level of the throat, and you don't have time to get to the suspended diamond. Yeah, beautiful. Okay. Are we ready then? Shall we do it? You're going to do it standing. So I'm doing a standing too with you. Yeah, we're going to go from it. Perfect. Fantastic. We're going definition of earth. Yeah, and we are ground because we completed the other movement in ground. Yeah, the interchanging balance and complete in ground. 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Defining 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3. Expansion. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3. Circling the heart. 2, 3. Heaven. Expanding heaven. 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. The speed of earth, riding the wave, connecting to expansion, encircling the heart, connecting to heaven, entering crown, the delicate heart. 2, 3, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's do it again. 1, 2. Let's go directly now. Let's go directly through the entire mandala. Okay. 1, and 2, 3, and 4. 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 Completing ground. 2. I'm doing it again. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, and 2. Riding the wave. 3, encircling the heart. 3, entering ground. 2, the delicate there. 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Changing the weight into one leg, just moving through it. Okay. How was that? Do we have any questions? Let's go to interchanging balance again. Then Carolina from that.
Yeah.
You repeat it. No, the interchanging balance occurs after they run the crown. No, it's yeah, you're right.
No, we've done the interchanging balance, and now we start defining the outer mandala.
Outer mandala.
Releases.
The free releases. Yeah. So any questions about that? How is it coming? Is it clear?
Great.
The sphere of earth, are you very clear in the sphere of earth? We should take a second to see if we can define it. Can you sit down for an instant just to define earth? Make sure that you're doing good with the earth.
Christy, I just wanted to say when going through the outer, through the inner mandala, it took me back to the very first time when you came here to Santa Barbara in the class at that yoga center, and you took me through the class through the outer, through the inner mandala, and something happened at that time, and I remember it to this day.
Really? Wow, that's wonderful.
Amazing. Yeah,
that was the connection. That was it.
Yeah.
Once you complete the inner outer mandala, the inner outer mandala, or the outer inner mandala or the inner outer mandala, you complete in every single vertebra of the whole spine, moving through the 7 centers.
Well, bringing all that energy down back into me, to you, to us is a fantastic thing. you know?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Especially because I don't know if I'm hard enough. I give it up the idea that I can be hard enough, because if I don't hard enough, I can't see you.
Yeah.
It would be okay for me to come closer and then see you where you are.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's more important for me to see you now than me doing it for you, because you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, you do understand consciously, you do understand that Earth, the sphere of Earth, correspond to the center of the hip, right? Because it means that the hand, the lower arm, and the upper arm, as it connects to the shoulder, is in the center of the heart. And when you are in the center of the heart, that means that you're in the center of the hip. Yeah, so that's the reason that is the point from which the mandala begins. Yeah, see, because if Earth is too much back, you will have to begin the mandala in the sacrum. Therefore, you're pushing the spine forward. Yeah, I'll say that again so you understand. The center, the connection to Earth, right here, ensures in the tip of my finger. Remember, because it's the inner and the outer, and the outer and the inner in the center of the movement. That's the beginning of the wave that is taking you to expansion. And what that does, it ensures that you are extending from the center of the hip through the lower back, through the thoracic vertebra. Yeah, to get to expansion. That's the reason that the sphere of Earth is essential for the connection to your pelvis and your connection to the lower back. Yeah. So then, let me see did you understand what I mean? That the tip of your finger, as it connects through the connection, the line of connection to your heart, that it comes from the pelvic floor and from the center of the hip, assists you to ride the way through the centers of all the 7 centers to go to heaven. Yeah, so that's important. That's the most important of all the connection. Beautiful. It's essential, the sphere of Earth. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. And that exactly. And the sphere of Earth, once you come back from crown, if you come back from crown and you're touching the sphere of Earth from excuse me, if you do it from the inner to outer and you're arriving to mandala crown and you get to the sphere of Earth, the reason that the sphere of Earth become the beginning of the inflowing wave is because in the sphere of Earth, you have the pelvic floor to bring you into the suspended wave into the ascending to foundation. So let me say that again one more time. Yeah, because you hear me, but I'm not sure if I'm helping you to develop the symbol of your mind. Remember that you're developing constantly a symbol of your mind that comprehend the metrics of balance as you're moving. And the comprehension of that matrix of balance is the union of your mind with the energy. So the mind doesn't stay as a witness, it is actually the field itself. Yeah. So what I'm saying to you, that when you come from expansion and you connect to mandala crown, right? And then you find the sphere of Earth, the third finger of your hand in the sphere of Earth is the center of the right and the left in your hip and the pelvic floor, from which the inflowing wave comes into being. Exactly. Yeah, beautiful. So it's not that the shoulders stay in one place and you bring in the inflowing wave. It's that the shoulders are relating from inside of you to the pelvic floor through the elongation of your being. Yeah, beautiful. Yes, Lois, that's the idea. Yeah, fantastic. Okay. Are we good? So we're going to go to, let's just spend a second, just get away from me for a moment, just in the sense of just come back to yourself for an instant, and let's clarify what I'm just saying. It's a lot what I'm saying, that the sphere of Earth as it corresponds to the third finger of your hand, connecting the line of connection of your arms to the heart, even though it's an inner arc. It comes from the pelvic floor. You're coming from the pelvic floor through the inner arc into the center of the third finger of your hand. So when you start riding the wave to go to expansion, you are coming from the center of your pelvis up through the 7 centers until you get to expansion. Exactly. Beautiful. And then descend from it. That's a trap, because it doesn't mean that you're bringing you from your arm, you're going to bring your arms up to expansion. Forget that one. Is that the line of connections of your arms as they corresponding to your heart are opening the entire matrix to bring you to expansion, from which you're going to go to heaven. Exactly, Nelly, right there. Wonderful. Beautiful. Can you feel, Ellen, more what you're saying? You are doing it right now, but I want to make clear, right?
Yes.
Beautiful. Perfect. Absolutely. It's a trap, this. Beautiful, beautiful. Right there, Carolina. Wonderful, wonderful, beautiful. It's a little bit delicate for you, a little bit, Mary Pat, because remember that the last time we mentioned a little bit about the breastbone. We have to make sure that the breastbone doesn't become crystallized going forward, because then what happens is that when you open the wave to go to expansion, the breastbone gets in the way and it creates a resistance to the movement, instead of yielding the breastbone exactly to get you to expansion. Beautiful. And that is fantastic. That is fantastic. Beautiful. Yeah. Fantastic. Darling, you have to be careful, because the right arm and the lower arm are perfect in their connection to yourself. But when the left arm, there is a part between the right and the left that they are fighting, they are creating a little bit of fight between each other at the elbow connection. Yeah, so you need to make sure that that connection is clear, because then the shoulder joint connects you to the center of the chest. Yeah, it's something. Yes, fantastic. We got it. All right, so let's do earth in expansion, and then from expansion, let's do mandala crown connecting to earth again, which is a little bit different. Okay, so we're going to go to inflowing wave, and then I'm going to go define earth, and then from earth I'm going to come back. And then from earth, I'm going to connect to expansion. And from expansion, I'm going to connect to mandala crown. And then from mandala crown, I'm going to create forward earth. Yeah. I don't know, because it's delicate. Beautiful. Okay, let's do it. 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 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 and then from expansion, of course, you know, you're going to just erase the whole thing, but we're just going to work in that one. Beautiful. Let me see, how can I help you in this one that is easier, because it's very, very subtle, but they are essential. Let me just get you from it. Listen, the sphere of earth, it is at this level. Let me see, at this level. Yeah. You'll find out the level, because the level is that the sphere itself, as it goes, this is the periphery of the sphere. And this periphery of the sphere is also around me, connecting through the pelvis as the completion of the sphere. That's the beginning of the riding of the wave, right? When you get to expansion and you touch mandala crown, earth is a little bit more back than earth as it was in the definition of earth, in the first definition. So it's another earth that it's almost like the earth that remember in 0 point where you gather the wave, it's almost a little bit like that, but it's not the same earth that you did when you were defining earth for the first time. Yeah, that Mary Pat, did I answer that question for you a little bit, what that is?
I need to hear that again. I don't,
It's okay. The sphere of earth is right here, the inner arc, right? The sphere of earth. Now, when you come back from expansion and you get to mandala crown, which in here, the earth is in here, and the other earth was right there, was in another 2 or 3 inches in front of you. The definition of earth is 2 or 3 inches forward than the definition that you go when you're descending from mandala crown, connecting to earth. It's a different earth.
Chris,
I thought from mandala crown, it was more forward.
From mandala crown is more forward.
And-
Yes, yeah. But let me clarify now that we're going for this clarification. From mandala crown, it's a little bit more forward. Yes, it's true. It's a little bit more forward when you go to earth. But then earth is of another plane. You're right. It's a little bit forward, but it's a completely different plane than the definition of earth from foundation. So do not think that the earth is on the same place when you come back from expansion that when you define from foundation going to earth.
So,
So
when you're defining it from foundation,
yes,
will it be the same place that it is when you go from crown? You know, you go from crown to
oh,
earth.
from crown. Well, no, yeah.
Or-
Yes. Even though the angle is a little bit different, It's not the same angle.
So there's 3 earths.
They're free, I guess. Well, it is one, but because of the curvatures of the spine and everything, it demands a different relationship to that sphere. So it's good not to think about 3 because then it becomes very complex. It's the same sphere, but because of the angle that you move in space, take a different form. So the simplest of all the forms is in the mandala, when you go from foundation and you define earth, because that becomes the whole circle of the whole spine. So you can see the importance of that. You know what I mean? When you go to foundation, you go into earth, and that will get you the whole mandala. Yeah. When you're coming back, it's a little bit different because you go forward earth in order to gather the waves that get you to foundation. And forward earth never gets to the same angle that the definition of earth is when you go from foundation. Right. It's a different angle, but it's the same sphere.
Right.
Yeah.
Christian, what helped me a lot was to sense it from the center of my heart.
Yes.
So that I know that if I'm connected right and left, and I can sense that here, it's going to be different than connecting that to, that inner sphere here, just the way your arms and your spine is, right? I mean, it's the same sphere, and the sphere is me. So I'm, it's not something that's arbitrary.
Exactly. And the reason is, let me just wait a second. Let me see if I can find words that the words that you have is perfect. That when you define, you go from foundation because you're already in the inner arc, and you're open and fold the inner arc to go to earth is one angle, right? The angle that it take you into the mandala, right? That's perfect. Yeah. When you come back from mandala crown, the reason that we call it forward earth, because earth is taking you inside of you, but it takes the either side of the rib cage. Okay. From mandala crown, earth take either side of the rib cage to get you to earth. Yeah. From the center of the pelvis in relation to front and back. Okay. Exactly, right there. Can you sense a little bit the difference, Mary Pat, now? Because you're doing it.
What's the difference? I don't think I had the complete explanation for the difference, you know?
Yeah. But you needed the definition from the difference, because then your mind can really go inside of it and understand what is occurring and the structure. Otherwise, you're just doing the movement, but not necessarily understand that the sphere of Earth is always the same sphere, but it's changing angles according to the way that you're moving. And you need the sphere because the sphere of Earth, it represents the centralization of your shoulder joints and your arms in relation to the pelvic floor. Yeah. And
Yes.
otherwise, what happens is that once you understand that the shoulder joints in your arms are always in relation to the pelvic floor, you'll never create compression in the spine, because you're always ascending from foundation, no matter where you are. Yeah, you're always connecting from foundation, and even though you're connecting from your heart, you're always connecting from foundation. You're always connecting from crown, which is the head. You're always connecting from the pelvis. You're always inside of the whole field. Yeah. Otherwise, what's happening that you make press into you thinking that you're going to get to Earth, but then if you press into Earth, you don't begin the mandala from the center of the mandala, you push it back into the riding of the wave. And if you push it innocently back riding of the wave, the vertebrae, so the lumbar vertebra and the thoracic vertebra will go forward. And then you're extending the arms, but you are not getting to the head. So the reason all the subtlety is because you in reality, you're moving through the center of the vertebrae at the same time that you're moving through the 7 centers. But to move through this, I'll say that again. This is very, very delicate. You're moving through the center of the vertebrae. At the same time, you're moving through the 7 centers. So the 7 centers is the key for moving through the center. In the beginning, the 7 centers are the key to allow you to perceive that you're moving through the vertebrae. Without the 7 centers, you'll never get to experience that you're moving through the vertebrae, because then what happens is that you're using the vertebrae against each other to sense the movement. Yeah, you're using the vertebrae against each other. So therefore, you never really get to the ground. You get to approximation of ground. Yeah, ground only exists in its reality of field of energy inside of the vertebrae of the spinal column, in which the whole spine extends inside of itself to release the brain like in a sphere, like it is, like the sphere of the brain. Yeah, so the important understanding of this is that the reason that Earth, and there's 2 definitions of Earth that we have, in the definitions of coming from the center of the pelvis, the center of your shoulder, of your chest, and the center of the head, are essential, because in the finished product, let's say we begin to study unity and motion, and you don't know nothing about unity and motion, you're just solid in the body. It's important you start saying, even if the person has a distance to perceive that, it's important to say that the center of the pelvic floor, and the pelvis and the pelvic floor, the center of your shoulder girdle and arms, at the heart, and the center of your head, are always in an open state relating to each other. Even if they don't understand what the hell are you talking about, you got to say it, because one is interdependent of the other to bring about the fabric of the movement, what we call the metrics of balance. Is actually the relationship of all those 3 centers, the 3 senses of the self as one unit. They are already, that's the way they are. If the student non-comprehended, or the spine is like completely compressed, or whatever it is, who cares? Eventually, the student will be able to unwind the spine. He can begin to understand that the 3 centers are already open in the memory of the student, neurological memory, and the mind of the student, and the physiology, even if the student doesn't experience. But once you begin to comprehend that opening, it will happen very, very quickly, because otherwise the movement is coming from the point of reference in which the person experiencing the movement in the spine. The movement is always coming from the point of reference in which the person is moving from the spine. So it will take a long time in the practice to begin to unwind the point of reference for the point of reference to release itself, so the spine to give the experience of the metrics. But if you tell them right away that the three are opening, it began in the opening, it will cut the time to get to the experience and 1/10 less, because the mind already comprehend, oh, I see, all of them have to move at the same time, and they are opening inside of their own natural state. Yeah? This is difficult what I'm saying, but it's not. It's just very simple. So anyway, but this is because of the sphere of Earth. When we get into the sphere of Earth, let me see, what else am I telling you about this? That when you open the mandala from the sphere of Earth, you are connecting from the space. From the space, there is the natural extension of all the vertebrae unfolding to you. Yes, you are, all the vertebrae are unfolding to you. Yes, let me see if I have any possibility. All the vertebrae unfolding to you. All the vertebrae unfolding through you. Yeah, all the vertebrae. Is the pelvic floor is going all the way to the crown, and then when you go from the arc, the outer arc, it will go a little bit more, right? And the inner arc will be a little bit folded, but it always ascending inside of your spine. You're always, the elixir of life exists inside of the spinal column. Yeah, the elixir of life, meaning I don't know, whatever we call it, you know what I mean? It's the center from which the brain interconnects constantly inside of it. Yes. Remember? Yeah. So that is important thing to begin to comprehend, that when you contemplate a little bit the skeleton and what's happening, I'm moving inside of the free curves of my spine, but the way that I can get to it is through the 7 centers, because then the 7 centers open the internal space in which the vertebrae can open. To trying to open it from the vertebrae at the beginning, it would be impossible, because if you're trying to open it through the vertebrae, you have to grab them with your mind in order to sense that you're opening. And if you grab the vertebrae with your mind to sense your opening, you're becoming compressed constantly. So you're defeating your person forever, because you're grabbing something to open it, and the grabbing already contracted. Yeah. So that's it. So the way that you do it is by through the 7 centers. But then once the 7 centers become more acquainted, like what you're doing right now, that you're beginning to understand that the 7 centers are moving as a union in an open state, what you're really sensing that the free curves of the spine through their form are extending inside of you. And it's because of that extension of the spine inside of you that the brain realigns itself into a spherical formation, which is no longer compressed on top of the brain. It's actually releasing the entire formation, this awareness that exists inside of the spinal column. We call ourselves cerebral spinal systems. Cerebral spinal system. So the spine is the key for everything. Yeah. But so that's the reason that I'm telling you. But what happened right now, that you're learning the subtlety of the connection to earth, the connection to expansion, the connection to heaven. But all those subtleties are really actually learning how to move inside of all the free curves of the spine. It would be easy if the spine would be just one rod like that, but it wouldn't be easier, because you wouldn't be able even to find any subtlety of it. So the free curves of the spine were created for the possibility of all range of motion and strength. Without the curves, would be no strength for us. It will be just like brittle. Yes. And so anyway, that's the design was exquisitely beautiful. So comprehending the free curves is actually comprehending the entire formation of your mind. Yes, so that's what you're discovering in it. Okay, so then returning, go ahead. Are you clear what I'm saying? You can hear the video and then ask me questions, write to me, because what I'm telling you, the earth is the definition, the first definition of earth is in a different angle than the definition of forward earth. Yeah, and you cannot go from mandala crown to the definition of earth, the first definition of earth. You can never make it. Yeah, by the time you get to mandala crown and you're trying to find earth as it was in the beginning, you lost the whole metrics. So the angle of earth changed it into a forward earth because of that reason. Yeah, to allow the entire chest and your heart always to move from the center for the pelvic floor. Yeah, so that's the reason to comprehend it exactly. It will take you right in the way. That's the reason the ride in the wave is the most fantastic path, because it is the connection that is taking you to heaven. And then you will find that once you get to expansion is the only place that the center of your heart correspond to the center of the sphere of this sphere of your heart. So at the center of your heart is the only place that you can extend it 1 millimeter more to go to heaven. So at the center is the place that you open the heart to be able to go to heaven. You don't continue from expansion to heaven. Yeah, it's the only point in space that you can get around to get to heaven. In order to be able for heaven to open the thoracic vertebra and the back of your neck and your head. Beautiful, wonderful. Yeah, we clear into that. Beautiful. So, okay, so let's go now. Let me see how will be the best way. Let's go to the mandala, the outer mandala, the definition, the free releases, the definition of earth, and then you come back, the definition of earth, the release of earth that is taken into the release, the forward release, the definition of expansion that is taken into suspended heart to get to in and out of balance, and then offering self, then take it to expansion, and then definition of heaven, then it's taken to the release of expansion. So let's finish with that movement. Yeah.
Are we going to do the releases along with it, or just the definition?
No, we're going to do the releases along with it, because that's the last movement that we practiced today. And then next time we can go around the crown. Okay, so the one thing before we do it that I wanted to tell you, that remember that when you're ascending through the centers, we are moving through the spine as well. Yeah, we're always moving through the spine. So when you're offering foundation, and when you're offering expansion, and when you're offering heaven, you're always moving through all the vertebrae of the spine. You don't bring the arms forward. You're moving through the center of yourself as you're opening into the dimension of crown. So you're activating the expansional nature of the vertebrae. Yeah. So we're going to go to do the free releases now. Yeah. Fantastic. We'll do it together. Fantastic.
We're gonna do the 3 releases today.
The free releases are fantastic because it's the whole mandala of the spine moving forward, completing the whole circle, moving forward. It's the same that inner outer mandala, in the inner outer mandala, but instead of being just moving from here to the ground, we're moving with the mandala in a 3-dimensional form as we're releasing the vertebrae through the motion. So you're moving the vertebrae in the horizontal plane, not just only in the vertical plane, like the inner outer mandala. Yeah? So we're going. 5. We got out of the way if we are in 0 point. 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 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 1 and 2, 3, and 4. 1 2, 3, and 4, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's feel 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3. Expansion. 1, 2. Suspended heart. 1, 2, 3. Touching balance. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3. Expansion. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3. Expansion. 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. The release of heaven. 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. You should release the motion. How was that?
Good.
It was good. How was it?
Yeah. Good.
Clear? I think I made a mistake looking at you, but it's all right. Doesn't matter. You know what you're doing. I know that what you're doing. So let's clarify it. What we did today. I think that one of the things that we are learning today for sure is that you are at the level of the study right now in yourself. I wouldn't use the word, let me see, it's not the word, the level of the study. You are now in your comprehension and your experience of the movement to the point that you understand that even though you may be in foundation, you are also experiencing the opening of your heart, because the movements of your arms come from your heart, and from the opening of your mind by comprehending the entire relationship to space, and the suspended of the three physical centers: the head, the right and the left, and the head and the ground, the right and the left and the shoulder and your heart, the right and the left and the pelvis and your heart. So no matter where you are, those three centers are always open. Yeah, the 7 centers are always open as well. And when you practice, yeah, it is a question. Huh? So when you're working at the motion, begin to become aware that each center is helping the other by if you're going to go from the release of expansion, for example, and you're going to enter the movement to release expansion. It's not the heart that only enters expansion. It's the throat, the head, and the crown that suspends the heart, so you can get the suspended heart in order to release the entire wave of the spine. So it's not that you're moving your arms and your shoulders, it's that the three centers from above are almost create, let me see what the way, they are ahead of you, if you may, but it's not. It's that they are not dragging in the movement by staying still. They are approximating the angle that corresponded to the facilitation of your heart to get you to where you're going. Yeah. So that means that it's more space in the head, in the crown, and the head than even in the arms, because they are the farthest point of view as they're moving in a space. Otherwise, what happens is you move in your arms and you keep everything behind, so you are outside of the matrix innocently, because you're creating resistance in the motion instead of matching the motion as you're moving with it. So this is what you're learning today, that the 7 centers are always moving with you. Yeah. Then what you're learning is that in the beginning, the 7 centers are instrumental to begin to figure it out where the curves of the spine are. So through the 7 centers, the spine, the lower back is going to become a little bit looser, the thoracic vertebra is going to become looser, the neck is going to become looser. But then when you get to another point, the 7 centers imply that each of the vertebrae are moving inside of their formation simultaneously through the center of the vertebra itself. Yeah? And this is a trap. It's something that you have to contemplate, because the spine, it doesn't move from the back forward. The spine moves inside of its 3-dimensional formation, always respecting the curves and the places in order to facilitate the engagement of the brain. Otherwise, the brain just stays as a witness and the movement continues. And then you're exercising. Nothing wrong with exercising, but then you're not unifying, because the unification of the movement is the synchronicity of your brain with the neurological system and the skeleton working as a unit. Yeah, the 3 things at once. Yeah, wonderful. Then we clarify the inner, the outer, and the connection to the movement. So every single connection has an inner and outer and the place from which it moves. Yeah, so it's not just inner or outer, it's the center of the 3, not the center of the 2, the center of the 3. Yeah, perfect, perfect. We got it. Then what else? Any other thing that you think about that we did today that it would be very important?
Christy, I think the most startling thing for me today was when you called our attention to the fact that we were all one doing the movement together. And that was very, that was profound for me, because forevermore, that's what I see it as. I don't see it as myself doing the movement, then you guys doing the movement. No, we're all doing it. We're all doing it together. We're all aspects of the same thing. So
yes,
we're not separate. We're, it's just like it's like all the centers of the body are moving. We're all moving, but we're all the same.
We are all in the quantum entanglement.
Yeah,
we are all inside of the quantum entanglement.
We're connected to ourselves with each other, and a lot more than that.
Yes. So let's go back just for a second. Okay. So remember that the physicists, when they discover quantum entanglement, they don't know what to make out of it, right? You know that they're just beginning to figure out what to make out of it. And the reason, when they discover that everything works together as a one simultaneous event, since in the mind may not entertain the notion that universally we're moving into one common design called human and called universal, then the quantum entanglement is a little stuck in the union. Yeah, the union is the union is the union is the union. We are in the same field. It's true. The union is the union is the union. We are in the same field. But that we're all inside of the design of the new world, inside of the divine paradigm, inside of the new reality, and completely. So therefore, when we work together and we move together, it's true, we are facilitating the existence of a field that is ever present. But do not forget that the field that is ever present has a specific design, which is a completely new world in which everything is perfection. Yeah, everything for everyone, for its perfection. So we are uniting within the union, but also partaking of the creativity in which the union exists. Union without creativity is a concept, because union, by the very nature of the word, imply here, like this. And this doesn't exist. This is this, is this, is this. It's not this. So the word union is a divine union, is a divine word, because we can comprehend that we are united to everything. But it's important to understand that at the same time that we're united from everything, we are partaking into a common reality that is much larger than the union itself, because it's creating a new world, a new system, a new thought, a new human, a new everything. Yeah. So that is a divine thing, because then the mind can begin to have access to that creativity, which is much more larger than the memory of our human unfolding. Because our human unfolding has been forever inside of the same story, repeated over and over, Groundhog Day. The new memory doesn't have that. If the new reality is free from the Groundhog Day, it doesn't repeat that. And if it repeats it, say, no, forget it. I don't want to go there. Why am I going to go there? It's going to give me the same story. So no, you go into another story, and another story will bring you to the new world. Yeah. So anyway, that's what we decided. Understand that one is quantum entanglement is the entanglement of creation manifesting a new world. Yeah, it's beautiful. So when you practice, you are already manifesting the new world, because we are manifesting the field. We are simultaneous with existence. So whenever you have a wish in your life, and a wish means if you desire something, make sure that you design it inside of the new field.
Right.
Because inside of the new field, you already have it, and you're going to get it much more quickly if you're trying to decide it by yourself. You know, because then it's okay, but it's not inside of the already received synchronicity. All right, I love you. I apologize for all this thing about the computer, but Elena's going to come around sometime soon. She's going to get me through the last stages.
You did fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thanks,
You're welcome. I
Christy.
love it.
Thanks,
Fantastic.
everybody.
Thank you so much. I love it.
Great.
Thank you.
Love
Ciao,
you.
ciao.
Love you
Ciao,
guys.
ciao. Thank you. Thank you.